What's up, everybody? It's your boy ShowtimeDr. So, I've gotten this question fairly consistently the last couple weeks, so I figured I'd address it here. And bear with me, guys, this is going to be a doozy. A question I get, a variation of this question I get is, well, ShowtimeDr, if you were in charge of the game, what would you change about the content, and what kind of additional content would you offer? So we are going to go through everything I have thought of. And I am by no means a game developer, I am by no means an expert, but having played a fair amount of games, the issue with this game right now is, I mean, there's a couple issues, but one of the main issues as far as content goes, there's really nothing new under the sun. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you think about it, like especially with this last patch that just came out, there's a new hero, and occasionally there'll be a new advent. And, you know, we'll figure out the advent usually within a couple days now. And do it, farm up the hero, okay, we're done. Or we'll wait for the next cycle when you got XYZ unit, or maybe you didn't pull the banner unit, etc. And it's very formulaic, like we go to the same dungeons, and occasionally there'll be a quest where we have to do something different, like a weekly quest, but for the most part, it's all pretty bad. So I will go over every aspect of this game that, not necessarily flawed, but I would like to see change a little bit. I guess flawed is a fair term. So number one, Town Hall. It'd be nice to be able to get some new buildings, like let's say, you know, Evomon Farm, or, you know, something similar. Random character, or essence potion maker, or something like that, because everything's like gacha. It'd be nice to be able to farm up our own stuff and have focuses, so that it doesn't have to be a great amount of stuff, but it could just be enough to like swing the pendulum a little way if you're low on, say, wind essence or whatever. The windmill, they just need to bulldoze that crap ASAP or completely change what it does, because as of right now it is effing useless, to the point of I've not even built the level 2 version of it. I regret building the level 1 version of it. Just bulldoze it down, and for all I care, put like the band or something, Ica, give them a stage and have them dancing over there, because that's about as useful as it is right now. Ain't nothing going on. Now guild, there are a lot of things I'd like to see different in the guild. So number one, guild skills and guild level. Now, this game's lost so many players that when I first started as a guild leader, probably up until the first 2 months, I had so many people that wanted to be in the guild that, you know, it kind of sucked to have a 30-person limit even when you skilled it up to guild 10. But as you notice here, guild growth for pretty much every guild that's been around for even like a couple weeks now. There's nothing else to do. We can't get any more buffs, we can't level the guild, there's no benefit, there's no nothing. So that whole you know, like managed skills, what am I gonna do here? There's like nothing to do here. And this will be a theme that you guys can see. There's basically nothing to do on screens if you've had a guild for a while. Like, go ahead, you know, maybe if you don't want us to skill these up, I understand, give us more stuff to skill up. How about increase drops by 10%? How about increase the chance of getting, you know, a rainbow essence by 5%, whatever. Just like some of the stuff that could make the guild bonuses more worth than right now. All the guild really serves is do guild PvP and, you know, get the do the quests, unlock the treasures for everybody, and then do the guild dungeon. Now, Guild Dungeon in itself is a great concept. The problem, however, is Guild Dungeon really doesn't change. And yes, it changes from week to week. I think there's a rotation of 3 dungeons, I believe. But like, you know, look at this. That's Xenon. That was Renta. Over here we got the Kane. Over here we got Sinclair. How come they haven't added any of the new Advent heroes, the SSR Advent heroes? Like, yo, let's, you know, put Tayo over here. Put, You know, Cali, like you need someone to be Cali 5 times, etc. And, you know, for a newer guild, I could see that being an issue, but for a established guild, like if you've been, say once you've been a guild for a month, maybe a month and a half, 2 months, okay. Now you've unlocked, you can click hard dungeon at the beginning of the week, and the rewards are increased, but the dungeon is harder. And I would like to see a similar thing in the time space dungeon as well, so you could opt into it, like right at the beginning of the week, either regular or extreme or held or whatever they want to call it. And that would give us more incentive to, like this whole outer ring, it could be 3-star advents. And this whole inner ring could be 4-star advents, but not just the 4-star advents that the game started with. Give us some of the new advents that have come out. And that would be a hell of a challenge, and then you could still keep the raid boss here, even though it's been the same raid bosses for a while as well. That would be really cool, you know, spice this up a bit. Like let's get some more rewards going on. And then god, guild battle. Guild battle, to be perfectly effing honest, they should make it so that the defending team is trying to beat you. Not the defending team is just trying to hold the point for 80 turns, because that's kind of ridiculous. It's not fun, other than getting, you know, the runes right now, or if you really want to E in. It serves no purpose, and it's kind of silly, so. Silly and dumb, and silly and dumb. So that's what I'd like to see on Guild Battle. And pretty much, I will only run Guild Battle once a week, unless it is a quest like it was during last week. Then we'll run it every day, and, you know. The rest of the buildings here, Chance Roulette's okay. Secret Shop's okay. Laboratory serves its purpose. Bounty list, I would like to see another thing where you could either opt in or do something to where, and this is the way that they could fix multiplayer, which I'll get more into later. Yo, give us, because the problem with bounty lists is, it's these same cats, like, every day. Like, it's a stupid onion, occasionally it's the wolf, it's the Nerbuses, it's the scarecrow, it's this dude, occasionally it's that big reaper looking, oh wait, he's over there. And it's just like, we're fighting the same shit every day, and since they don't update the world, you know, it's just like, and these are all kind of annoying encounters for the most part, not these two, but the Nerbuses are annoying, and this guy's annoying. There's a Nerbus, yeah. So it's like, it's not a matter of we can't beat them, it's just time consuming and annoying. Like, mix it up, even if you gotta go back to the old world and get us some of the older bosses or something. But there should be a special thing, like, you know, on the next page or whatever, and it should say, multiplayer dungeon, beat Britain or whatever with 5 people for a full party bonus. Okay guys, let's go do that. And you go and do it, and the reward should be not only gold, but it should be, you know, a fair amount of, say, insignias, you know, maybe some Evilmon, and have an outside chance to get the damn hero as a drop. It would facilitate so much, because one of the best memories I have in this game is when me and a bunch of buddies decided to farm Sid up on multiplayer before he came out again in single player. And that was really fun. Like, it was a bonding experience, and it brought everyone closer, you know? Like, it's fun to actually do stuff together and not just do everything separate. So that's something I would change on this. This bounty tier thing, you know, it's stupid. It's like, in what world is a black Nerbus less dangerous than a fucking onion? You know? Or a white Nerbus, rather. It's kind of, it just doesn't make sense, and there's a whole thing I'll get into later about that, but Pal Auto, the only annoying thing about Pal Auto to me is, now that they've started cycling the prizes, the Evilmon never fucking comes up. 6-star rune ticket, that's a dumb first prize, because even if you get it, the rune could be complete hot garbage, and there's no chance of rolling the special runes. So that's silly. 10 crystals. Whoop-de-doo! You can get 10 crystals from the daily quest. Enhanced stones and gold, that's nice. But I haven't had this being Evilmon literally for like a month and a half now. I check every day, it's never the freaking Evilmon. So maybe actually rotate it to where, okay, Today it's this prize, today it's this prize, today it's this prize, today it's this prize, etc. And then when you get to the end, go back up, today it's this prize. And then at least once a week, you know, you could roll on something that you want, you actually want. Now, gold mine, my gripe with gold mine is I wish it was more than 3 hours. You could upgrade it somehow, but whatever. Goddess Falls. Goddess Falls is dumb. Because they pull this scam tactic where, look guys, look at all these 5-star heroes. Wow, amazing. Yeah, there's some 4-stars down there, but look, you got a 50-50 chance. No, you don't. I've gotten a 5-star heroes from this maybe 5 to 8% of the time. So it's BS. Just like when you look here and it looks like, oh, you have an equal chance of getting any of these prizes that are in it. No. It's like pre-rendered. It's like a casino machine. You're probably going to get the 4-star most of the time. Like, I hate games that misrepresent things like that with graphics. So, and that was just the town, guys. We got a ways to go. No. Another thing I'd get rid of, let me kick her the hell off my screen and put on whoever the hell I want, even if it's Marduk. Just get off my screen, lady. Notices is fun. Achievements, for the most part, that's fine. Lena's gifts, that's fun. Although it'd be nice if she gave us like a super gift or something, not just the same stuff every day. But they're not bad gifts overall. So missions, you know, they're starting to add more missions. That's cool. More events, by the way. They don't have too many events. I know we have technically the Taran event, but it's not really an event. It's just do the same stuff that you've already done, just do it multiple times. Like, so I mean, most gacha games I play in the course of a month, they will have at least 2, if not 4, solid events of like, hey, new stuff to do. Hey, a new mode that's open this week only. Hey, this and that, like the way the Haspile event was, or something similar. If you notice, they pretty much just stopped doing that in general, for the most part. I can't even think of the last one. It might have been the Haspile event, which is pretty sad, because that was a long time ago. That was within, like, the first month and a half of the game. Let me look at the lobby screen. Yeah, you know, for the most part, the rest of this is fine. So let me go over to the Heroes screen. Heroes screen, for the most part, it's fine. There's little issues here and there, but they're kind of nitpicky. The rune screen, however, that needs to change. I want to be able to have a way to highlight, you know, I want to get rid of stuff with accuracy, or I want to get rid of stuff with any combination of these, like accuracy, HP recovery, HP recovery on an attack rune, you know, etc. Like, I want to get rid of that, and it should have a system to filter those and show you, and you can look at it and you can get rid of it. 6-star, this button right here, why the fuck, why is that even there? That's kind of silly. Otherwise, all these buttons are basically okay. The chance to upgrade runes is too small. Transformation costs too much. You only do it for special runes. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. Same thing with the badges. Now, social, for the most part, is pretty cool. I like that you can send your friends friend points to get them extra stamina, and then they can send it back to you, vice versa. The only problem is you can't directly invite your friends in the multiplayer dungeons, which is kind of silly. Now, summoning, you know, it's basically fine. Shop, only thing I got a gripe about with the shop is I'd like to see the costumes go on sale at least once a month, because it's been about 3 weeks now. So hopefully this next week, you know, there'll be another costume that'll go for 7 million. And of course, the 3 costumes that cost $20 are hot. They're hot, guys. We just can't keep them in inventory. It's like the Apple iPhone. Yeah, right. And then so, menu's decently fun. Oh, actually, one gripe I do have about summons. Why are you showing us the 5-star skills? No one fucking uses 5-star skills. Show us the 6-star skills. Show us what we can get once we max the character. Because who the fuck gets a character and thinks, alright, got him to 50. Time to hit that advent. PvP, your ass is grass. Like, no one does that, so I don't even know why they do that. It's silly, it's dumb. Point summons or whatever. Oh boy, here we go with this quagmire. Alright, so challenges. Guild Dungeon I've already spoke on. Time Space Void I've basically spoke on. But to elaborate on Time Space Void, the hard mode of Time Space Void should be... Because right now, if you've been playing the game for any amount of time, Time Space Void is like an auto snooze fest, assuming you got decent heroes of whatever you need. So there should be a version to do like a hard tower, and it actually tests you. It's like it's a PvP match. Dudes are geared. They're teamed up pretty good. And the tower could just have one floor. That would be fine. They don't need to have 3 floors, because they got this dumb mechanic in the dungeons where it's like, you do whatever you're doing, then you run forward to confront the next thing, and then you're back on the same screen at a slightly different angle. You know, like we don't notice. So, kind of silly. But I'd like to see a hard mode for that. It could just be 1 encounter per, but have it be really hard, like you're fighting a PvP encounter. That would be pretty fun. Now let me go back to... Hold on. Boss dungeon. I mean, it'd be nice if they made some new bosses, but good luck with that. Otherwise, I really don't have an issue with boss dungeon. They fixed most of what the issue was. The only dumb thing about boss dungeon is the RNG loot, which is like, say you get a bunch of gold chests. But the gold chest can still have like crap, like 5- and 4-star runes. It's like, why am I working so hard for a chance at a good rune? Or a chance at a 6-star rune that might not be good, and I have to re-roll it, you know? So let's go to special here. The only main issue about all these dungeons is when you've... I'm talking about the growth dungeons. When you've been playing the game long enough, it's just like a chore. It's like taking out the trash or doing the dishes. Like, there's no challenge to any of these dungeons. So having us run through 3 zones, you know, like basically there should be a thing where you click it and it just says auto run dungeon 5 times. Okay, here's your loot, and that's that. That would be nice. Once you've proven that you can do this dungeon, you know, without it killing you, which of course it's not killing anybody. You know, like the only dungeon I ever died in, I think, was my very first day doing Origin of Growth. And that's because I just had heroes that were too low. Otherwise, I've never died in any of these dungeons. So they just need to, like, quicken the pace on this, because this doesn't really... There's nothing engaging about it. It's just a mind-numbing. Run forward, kill everything. Run forward, kill everything. Run forward, kill everything. Here's loot. That's pretty much what all these dungeons are, so... Big waste of time. Now, Advents. For one, they need to add Britain to single-player Advent. I don't know why they don't do that. I guess they don't want us to have him as a hero. So I'm gonna get into something, and this is gonna be fairly deep. So when you're first starting this game, you know how, like, at first you might run like whatever SSR heroes you got with either the storyline units or some SRs that are decent, or maybe an R if you didn't get good draws or whatever. Well, there's a point of no return in this game. Let me get some water real quick, guys. Of course I'm out of water. Oh well. There's a point of no return in this game to where you basically do not think of R heroes and SR heroes as any type of... You know, most of us, for the most part, even though I still use SR heroes, and I even built an R hero. But most people in this game, you know, like once you've gotten to the point of you can handle all 3-star dungeons and below, other than getting them for fodder for purple stars, or if you really want to build them, they're an afterthought. And that seems like it's not a big deal, because okay, yeah, you should focus on SSR heroes because they have higher base stats and they usually get all the goodies. Well, then SR and below becomes this weird void to where, like, you know, you see Xenon, you see Cha-Cha, Mao. I actually need to get more copies of her. I just started building her. And you see all these guys, and it's like, oh yeah, remember when that was hard? And it's just content that there's almost no reason to do it. And then think about on the summon banners, all of the R heroes and the SR heroes you can draw. For the most part, most people ignore those and just fodder them. So it becomes this big, like, there's, like, look at this, I'll show you. Let me go to the Codex. Now, okay, so we got added up here 18, 33, 43, 45, 54. 54 plus 78 is 132 SSR heroes. And then you go down here, you got 105 SR heroes, 156 R heroes. Like, if I was to challenge you right now, name 30 of, well, actually, these are, I forget, these are all divided in threes because they count the 4, 5, and 6 stars. But, you know, let me say, name 12 R heroes. Could you even name them? You know? It's just like, maybe after a while, but you got to think about it. And then SR heroes, we got 105 divided by 3 is 45. So name me 20 SR heroes. And most people, they're gonna be like, oh. It's just like half of the characters in this game basically don't matter, and that's not uncommon in gacha games, but it's just weird to where, like, they don't matter so much that we disregard the greater majority of them. Like, usually in games, there are still serviceable, like, lesser tier heroes, or, like, you need them in a niche, you know, a niche group, or you need this particular unit to counter whatever, and it's just this void. So the lack of content is further chasmed by that, because there is no, you know, once you get to a point in the game, there's pretty much no point to even worrying about that for the most part, once you got enough SSR heroes. And it's this weird thing to where less is more, but if everybody, because you can get SSR heroes fairly easily, like when you're a new player, you know, they give you all those free ones, and, you know, you can re-roll to your heart's content, and once you get to the point where you can start farming 4-star advents, probably within a month or so of playing, that's a lot of content that's gone, guys, you know, like all these dungeons, heroes, all their skills. That's a lot of content that's just lost. So I wish that there was something, because, you know, think about it, they're never going to get costumes. All the costumes are going to go to SSR heroes. The majority of balance issues, patches, skill changes, etc., that's all going to go to SSR heroes. And it's just really weird to me. So now, as far as multi goes, number 1, friend invite, and they're never going to do anything about this, but how come you can invite your guild members, you can invite random people. I don't want people on fucking Facebook to know I'm running a dungeon. Like, what the fuck is this? Like, maybe in Korea this is cool, but in America, you know, they'd be like, what the fuck? You imagine, like, all your friends and family seeing that. And then Line, you know, Line's popular, especially in some countries. And Twitter, you know, I'm not going to post on my Twitter that I'm running a dungeon, guys, so that's fairly dumb. How come there isn't an invite friend? Click friend's name here. You know, it's fairly silly, but that's the way they chose to go with it. And once again, the greater majority of dungeons, like, hell, let's do this. I'm gonna toggle this public for Sid's dungeon. Let's see who comes in. A Rue with no purple stars. And Ashley, full purple stars. Like, you see, the greater majority of these people are people that want to get carried. And there's a couple decent ones, but you're not gonna beat that dungeon with a bunch of rubies. Usually. But anyway, so that's my gripe about the Advent dungeons. Now, let me go back. One of the other issues that this game has is they're not rotating rewards. So like if you go and look at Arena Shop, you know, May's been the hero that's been a reward from here since the beginning of time. Like let's rotate a couple other heroes in here, you know? The runes can stay the same, I understand that. And then there's this dumb thing where if I want 50 enhanced stones, it scrolls me all the way back to the top, so I can't. There's no, like, slider where I can get a bunch of them. So that's dumb. You know, rotate the rewards. Same thing with Guild Battle, Guild Shop. Super silly. And then they need to make a way to make multiplayer dungeon worthwhile, because right now it's basically not worthwhile unless there's some type of even if you have the recommended heroes so that you got a chance for the unit to drop, the boss unit. You know, like, look at this. Like, who's gonna take Sinclair into Sid? Like, Sinclair will get wrecked by the snake boss on the second. You know, Ruby's decent. This girl, she's gonna get wrecked probably. And then, you know, you're not gonna take these guys into Sid. Why would you take any of these guys into Sid? I think that's silly. If they don't provide any type of bonus, why would you do it? And it's like, well, but you could get Sid as a drop and you might get this stuff. Yeah, but the greater majority of the time you're gonna get Goldmon, XPmon, 10 enhanced stones, you know, 5 Advent essences if you're lucky. Like, it's just not worth the risk. And to know another player can go AFK or it's a bot or whatever, it's just silly. And then the other thing is, coming soon. Last time that they gave us a new world is when Claude came out. Claude came out sometime in July. We are in the end of September right now, September 26th. July, August, September. So basically it's about to go on 3 months. Because it was early July too. And it's just like, well, at that rate, in a year, we might have World 14 out if we're lucky. So there's not much content in the world. The storyline's been stagnant for a while. All they're really doing is adding new heroes. And there's no chance to get extra star rewards. Like, that's all gone. And it's just a sad state of affairs. Like, there's so many things that just feel, like, outdated. And people in my Discord, they're like, well, another boring week with nothing new to do. It's just like, what are you supposed to do, man? Like, we come in, we farm. You know, and when you're someone that's been playing a while, and you have... You know, I got all my copies of Christian. I don't need Christian, so maybe I'd farm them for SSR fodder, but then I could farm Decane for that, and it's a lot quicker and easier for the most part. And I don't know, there's just nothing to do. Like, I would love for them to have an event or a storyline event or something. Just give us something that's new. Something. Ugh, but there's nothing really, so... So that's some of the stuff I would do. I would also costume gate, give people a way to farm costumes up, premium costumes, even if it takes them like 20 some days, a month, whatever. Give them a way to do it. Or make it so that you could buy the costume for crystals after a month of the costume being out. And hopefully they'll address that in the next patch. Otherwise, I mean, all of that would make stuff a little bit more varied. Because, you know, think about it, what are you really doing like every day in this game? You get on, you farm everything, you do time space once a week, you do guild dungeon, You do boss dungeon once a day, which is way better than 3 times a day. I love that change. You know, you come over here, you get all your farm, you run your bounties, you do all the shop stuff, you go and do your PvP, you do your draws, and then maybe a couple advent dungeons, and you're pretty much done. So, it's just, they just need more stuff to do. And it's sad because there's so much greatness. Like, this game was so much fun, but when you do it, you know, consistently, day in, day out, same stuff, then, you know, you start to kind of take things for granted. Because this game still does this type of system the best out of all the games that do this type of system, but it's stagnant right now, and hopefully the next major content patch is going to change something. So that's all I can hope for, guys. So, I'm sure I got like a couple other things. I'd like to hear your guys' opinions too on things that could be changed a little bit. You know, maybe give us an adventure mode that is, you know, hell. You know, give us a new mode rather than normal and easy. Give us a hell mode. Have an invasion, that would be fun. With like a particular enemy that we have to counter, or... You know, the Knights of Darkness or whatever, they're on a rampage, they have to be stopped, we get to fight them as a team, you know? Like, that would be pretty fun. Just give us something, guys, something. Because there's really nothing right now. Put combinations of enemies together that we wouldn't consider, you know? Like, put some bosses together, like 5 bosses, or 3 bosses, or something similar. That would be pretty fun. But oh well. So that's that. So I can't think of any other stuff I would do. I'm sure there's more, I just can't think of any of it right now. So alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. Blah. And, I said and before this time, I'm ShowtimeDr. You found my YouTube, consider hitting the like button if you enjoyed the content. I'm also on Twitch. You can find me twitch.tv/ShowtimeDr. Come follow, I live stream usually Pacific Standard Time, evening, and overnights, sometimes afternoons. Got a link to the Discord in the notes. You can come check that out. Come in. We got a couple communities going for this game, for Epic 7, Tales of Aaron. We got a general tab for mobile games. We got anime chatter, etc. So, would be nice to see you there. I've met some good people that just happened to like my videos and came in and said hi. So I really appreciate that. And I am out, guys. So have yourselves a wonderful day. That's probably my last video of the day, unless something comes up. So catch you later. Peace.